Hey Echo Hills, I have this week's newsletter for you, and it's all about Passover. So be sure to check out the newsletters to get some other events. But if you were with us last Sunday, you know that I introduced Passover by filling in that Sunday for Pastor Mike and Debbie, who were both out with COVID. They are doing much better, so thank you for praying for them. But I had planned on starting this Sunday with a series on Passover. So I did a little bit of an introduction last week. We talked about the 3 signs that God gave Moses to be signs to all of Israel, not just Egypt, but all of Israel and the children of Israel regarding God's intention for them to know him. And so we are in Exodus 4. If you recall that, you can go back and check out our messages either on Facebook or on YouTube, or we also offer a podcast, and you get access to all of that off our website. But this week, we are going to start with our Passover series and go through actually looking at what is the major theme of Passover. And so I'm just going to ask you, what do you think the major theme of Passover is? Most people I talk to, and even myself for a few years there, would have used the word freedom, because we see God leading the Israelites out of enslavement and out of slavery and out of captivity from the Egyptians. And he, brings the 10 plagues and has this incredible Passover sequencing through a meal and the shedding of the blood and the painting of the doorposts and then being led out by this Spirit of God. And we would be wrong, actually. It's not just about freedom. But let me ask you, what would be another theme that you would think Passover is about? And again, I'm going to tell you that myself and many others bring up the theme of miracles, the God of wonders, the mightiness of God. He's got these 10 plagues. He's got these 3 signs to Israelites. There's a pillar of fire. There's the splitting of the Red Sea. There's this incredible mightiness and presence of the Lord that, we could easily stop and go, there's the God of miracles. And then we see the raising of the dead as we fast forward and see the fulfillment of Passover in Jesus Christ. And, he healed and he delivered and he set free and he died on a cross, and 3 days later was raised from the dead and walked and ate with men after that raising. And again, we'd be wrong, because it's not just about miracles. And of course, the last thing that I always hear, and we would be right to say, yet not entirely on point, is that Passover is about salvation, because ultimately Passover is about Jesus, the Lamb of God, being slain. And we know the truth of what that means. But is that really what God wanted us to understand when we stop and we consider Passover? And we do have to take an entire biblical view of Passover. So I want to challenge you. What is the major theme of Passover? What do you think the major theme of Passover is? What have you been taught about Passover to influence that thought? And are you sure that's really what God wanted you to know or consider when we talk about Passover, when we look at Jesus as our Passover lamb? Because if it's just about freedom, God could have done a bunch of other different things to bring freedom. If it's just about miracles, that's not going to bring eternal salvation. And if it's just about salvation, I think we can often miss what God intended for Passover and his son's fulfillment of Passover to truly mean. So we're going to dive into all of that this Sunday. I hope that you join us either on campus at 10 a.m. or online at 10 a.m. or on Facebook and YouTube. In the newsletter, there's some resources. I've been giving you these links and some recommended reading for you to dive into this subject of Passover. But I really do hope that you'll find the time to join us this year as we look at the great I am, Jesus, and the Passover Lamb. Awesome. We love you guys. We sure miss you and look forward to seeing you on Sunday, whether on campus or online. God bless you.